Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? I just love this space. I love this space a lot because I can sit in the corner and I can be all cozy while I record with you guys, and I don't have to set up any light whatsoever. So if you guys are loving this space with me, let me know. So we're here for a serious discussion. So I was watching this girl on YouTube. She's Nigerian. She's from the Yoruba tribe, and she lives in New York City. So she was crying. I mean, you know those kind of tears that it's not crying out loud, but it's those kind of tears that really get you, and you feel like you just want to reach in there and kind of hug her. And after she said, after I found out why she was crying, it really got me thinking. And it got me thinking about, I mean, if you are, I don't know if this happens with other countries or what, but I know in Nigeria, I know in my tribe also, I know it is something that is expected that children do for their parents. Now, call me old school. I don't know if this is something that people are enforcing right now or people feel obligated to do right now. But for me, coming from a generation of, you know, I'm not a Gen Z. I have children of Gen Zs that are Gen Z children. I personally, as an African mother, I'm not going to expect my kids to be financially responsible for me. Let me clear myself before people come at me. I'm not going to, my daughter, I have a 19-year-old daughter. Just put things into perspective. I have a 19-year-old daughter and I have a 15-year-old daughter. I'm not going to expect that once my 19-year-old daughter graduates, gets a job, whatever, I'm not going to expect for her every month to be giving me some kind of money. I'm not going to make her obligated to be giving me some kind of money. And the reason why I said that, and this is something that me and my husband, we've talked to way about even when the kids were younger, that, oh my goodness, we'll never ever do this to our kids. And I'll tell you why. Now, this girl that I was watching, she was in tears. She was like, oh, I work so hard. I send money back home. But even what I'm sending is not even enough. You know, what I'm sending, you know, they say is not enough, and I'm trying what I can. I still have to pay my bills. I still owe this person money, and I still have to send money, because if I don't send money at the end of the month, they get on me. And she was crying and on and on and on. There's a burden that gets put in you when you feel like, okay, you owe something. It's as if you owe your parents this, because, and parents will say, oh, because, you know, I sent you to school, I took care of you, so my gen one more. I hate that phrase. I hate that phrase so much. I think right now I'm finding my boldness. I'm at a stage of life right now that I'm finding my boldness. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have come to the camera to say this, just because I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but I so much hate that statement, like, our gen one more will eat the fruit of our labor, our children's fruits, or our children will take care of us, or those kind of phrases like, oh, your children will take care of you, and this and that. I don't want that. I don't want to be an obligation to my children. I don't want to be a pain to my children. I don't want to be a burden to my children, that at the end of every month, regardless of what financial difficulty my child is in, my child will rather hold money, my child will rather be evicted, my child will rather not have electricity, just to please someone and send money back home, even though they don't have. So many stories that we've heard of people working hard here in the US, in UK, in Italy, in Germany, in Canada, wherever. So many of us have heard stories of people working hard, living in mediocre environment, and sending money back home, just to go back home thinking the money is there and the money is gone. Or sending money back home and people back home not being pleased or not being happy, and just say, is this all? not knowing how hard you work to get that money. And let me even make it even a more closer to home situation. If you are, and I know a lot of you, I've had conversation with some of you, and some of you feel the same way that I feel, whereby you're a woman, you work, right? And maybe you don't work, and your husband, you're depending on your husband, or maybe you're not depending on your husband, and you're at this point that you're not only, you know, taking care of your children, you're taking care of your parents, and you're what I call our generation right now the sandwich generation. I'm like the sandwich right now, where I'm in the middle, I'm the meat, and I gotta take care of the ones on top, I gotta take care of the ones at the bottom, and it kind of gives you a lot of burden. Now, I am not saying that if you feel obligated to help your parents, I am not saying that you shouldn't. Okay, don't get me wrong. It is good when in need, when you can afford it, when you have the financial means to do that. It is okay to help. Is it okay to put them on a payroll? I don't like that idea of being on the payroll. I just don't like it. Do I do it? Yes, I do it. I do it just because I always feel I get anxiety. I'm telling you, I get anxiety when I don't have enough to give, or I don't have the right amount to give. I get anxiety, and I don't know if you all feel that way. Some of you feel that way. I want you guys to chime in the comment area. It's not like I don't send money. I do send money, but sometimes I just have to say that sometimes, you know, you just get this anxiety, especially when you have bills piling up, and when you explain that, oh, I have these bills piling up, and people don't quite understand or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that feels this, and I know I can't be the only one, but I will never, ever, ever ask my kids for money. Let's say I'm at a situation where I am totally broke. I don't have any money at all, and I need to ask my kids for money. I'd rather go to the bank and get a loan. That is just the way I am. If my kids come and say, oh, mommy, I want to help you out, I'll say, okay, fine. Then I will. But up to the point where I feel as if my kids, I'll tell them that, oh, every month or every whatever, you have to send me something. I just don't. The way I feel sometimes, I don't want my kids to go through that feeling of, especially when they are married, especially as women married and we have spouses. And even it can even be worse if your spouse is not from the same culture that you are in, and they don't understand. You having to explain to them this and that. You having to, not only you doing it for your parents, you also have to do it for your spouse's parent if you come from the same background, the same neighborhood of thinking. I just think, I don't know if anybody's getting me right now. And I know I feel like I'm ruffling a lot of feathers coming out and talking about this, but I'm at a stage where I'm at a I don't care stage right now. I don't care at what age will I grow up and not be afraid to say my say. We live in such an hush-hush society that you don't talk about this, you don't talk about that. But you know what? Ruffle some feathers here and there doesn't hurt nobody. And I just feel like we shouldn't follow the footsteps of our parents. We shouldn't follow the footsteps of our grandparents. We shouldn't follow those kind of footsteps that we feel like I just want more. We'll eat the food, you know, that our kids are. When you get old though, when you make it, you have to buy me a car. You have to buy me a house. You know how much burden that puts on a child? Especially if the child is like, okay. Because some children, literally, you might say, oh, I don't mean it. I don't mean it. There are some children that take what you say, they take it like gospel. They take it like gospel. So I will never do that to my girls. To be honest with you, I would never do that to my girls. If my girls come and they say, oh, mommy, I want to do this for you, I'll be like, okay, fine, because I know that they want to do it from their heart. And I think it's even much, much better when somebody comes and they say they want to do something for you and it's coming from their heart and it's not coming from an entitlement situation that I'm entitled to this because I sent you to school, because I took care of you. Well, excuse me, you gave birth to me. So, you know, and the way that girl was crying, oh my goodness, I wish I could play the video without being copyrighted. This girl, she must be, I think 23, 24, and she was literally in tears. She was like, I just don't know what they want from me. I just don't know. I try, and I don't know what else. I don't know how much more to send. I don't know how much more will be enough and stuff. And this girl, she just got a job. I just said I would never ever do that to my girls. Because I know the feeling. I've been there. I know the feeling. And it's like people don't understand. No matter how much you say it, people don't get it. They don't get it. They feel like, oh, you are not being, how do they call it, respectful or whatever. You're not being, you know. I don't know. Anyway, you guys chime in the comment area. Let me know what you guys think. I know I'm ruffling some feathers here, but you know, I don't want people to go through life feeling that way, and it's just so sad.